All right. Super excited. We're getting started. Today is our children's ministry moving forward registration blitz.
Yes, sign up, sign up, sign
Super
up.
pumped. Who could get started on a fun day like this without the Holly Rogers?
Woo!
Yes, if you don't know who she is, you live under a bridge. So amazing, Holly. I'm so excited. You're
Me
here.
too, girl, me too.
Hey, explain to me your fabulous hair right now.
Listen, here's the deal, yo. Seriously, quarantine will get you. There is only so much entertainment when you are stuck in your house. And so I went into the bathroom and I was looking under the cabinets and saw an old bottle of hair dye. And I was like, what? It's fine. It's fine. So now we have purple hair. So welcome to my world.
Goodness, you look fabulous. Do you think I can get away with that?
Absolutely. Yes.
Hey, if you have confidence, I think you can get away with anything. But we are here today, you guys, because we are 1 week away from the children's ministry moving forward virtual conference. It is going to be an amazing time. We have been praying for you and we are excited, but we don't want you to miss it. So if you have not registered, you need to register for this conference. It is going to be an incredible time together. Super excited. So Holly, you are here with us today because we're going to spend the day talking about all types of fun stuff. And Holly, we are going to talk about some hot topics because we have some hot topics happening at this conference in less than a week.
Gosh,
oh my gosh!
If someone's not registered, I want to know why. Get online and register. It's going to be so much fun.
We are doing so much, Holly. We were doing so much. Like literally, I have blue tape in the background because we are still doing stuff to our set to get ready. We want this thing to just come off with the spirit of excellence. That means being excellent in every part of it, including set design. Had an amazing woman and dear friend come in. She's setting all this stuff up. I actually had a live yesterday and she came in and she was like in the live putting up like floating shelves. But that's how I'm like, hey, the Children's Ministry Moving Forward Conference is coming up and we are serious about it. So Holly, let's talk about some of these topics.
Let's do it. Oh, and listen, before we do that, like speaking of excellence, I just looked over, honest to God, not plans. Because I just recently finished reading it. So I mean, why not do a plug for an amazing author? Do you have the book?
So I love it. Holly, for the conference, the theme is the Progressive Children's Ministry Leader. So we have been encouraging people, if you don't have your copy, make sure you get your copy so that you come already prepared to be filled up at this year's conference. But Holly, let's talk about some of these topics, which I am super excited to talk about. But so check this out. We are talking about structuring your children's ministry for growth. How important, Holly, is that? And in your opinion, and we're not going to give everything away because you got to come to the conference for that.
Absolutely.
Yes. So this is not going to be a lesson.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you about structuring your children's ministry. You got to come to the conference to do that. But let me just say this. When we talk about structure, maybe you're saying, man, I'm just clicking along right now. I have everything I need, all the volunteers I need. Whoever has that. That does not even exist. I've never seen a ministry that has that. But maybe you're the crazy exception. but if you're satisfied right now where your structure is right this moment, what you're saying, and you may not mean to be saying it, but what you're saying is, God, I don't want you to bring me any more kids because I've got it set just like I need it just for now. Whatever you have right now, you need to go ahead and plan for the next level so that you can be ready and say, God, I am prepared. I'm honoring the space that you've given me and the people that you're going to bring me. Our ministry will only hold and sustain what the structure is set up to handle. And so whatever level you're at right now, go ahead and start filling spaces for future growth. go ahead and get ready because God's going to bring those people.
I love that, Holly. Okay, so I'm going to throw a curveball at you because when it comes to children's ministry, come on.
Yeah.
And we say numbers, you know, people get nervous. We hear sometimes, you know, numbers don't matter in children's ministry. And the only thing that matters is, you know, that one child. And as long as you reach that one child. So I'm going to throw a curveball at you when it comes to growth, because growth is important. What do you think about that when it comes to numbers in children's ministry? Is this something that we should be concerned about? Is this something we should care about?
You know, I'm going to say two things. One, I'm going to say whatever level you're at, don't be discouraged. Mm-hmm. Don't be discouraged if you're a children's ministry of 1, 5, 50, and you're ready to go to the next level. Be honorable where you are and prepare for the next level. Yeah. But if you're the kind of person that has caught yourself saying, you know, just I'm happy with what I have and growth doesn't matter, whose kid doesn't matter? Whose kid is it that doesn't yet come to church, that doesn't yet know Jesus? Which one of them are we saying doesn't matter? Because every single human in our building represents a soul one day that is going to make it to heaven. It's going to represent generations that are changed. We reach them as a child. So while we're not counting numbers to be prideful, those numbers matter. Growth matters. And we know healthy things grow.
And we have to be careful too, Holly, because that could cause us to become stagnant in how we do children's ministry, you know, and we're just completely stagnant, and it makes us lazy when it comes to going out into our communities and to, you know, where God has planted us. It may prevent us from going out if we continue with this mindset of numbers don't matter, it's fine. And it causes us to wait for them to come to us instead of doing what Christ has called for us to do, which is go out and to get them and to bring the little ones to him. So, I mean, it is just
so good because you don't know we don't know what we don't know. And so people that are outside the world and they don't know Jesus yet, they're not going to come wandering in saying, is there something in here I need to know? We've got to go out and find them and show them who this Jesus is that adores them and that will walk through life with them.
Absolutely.
So good. So good.
I know. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So let's talk, because we are going to talk about volunteers. Joshua Denhart is going to bless us with his presence.
Yes, I love him.
Joshua Denhart. But we're going to talk about volunteers. So let's dig into that one. That's always a hot one in children's ministry, because people are always wondering. Kevin Atkins is actually FaceTiming me right now. So Kevin, you're supposed to be on soon. All right. So you need to get prepared. And we're going to have a guy call you in the background.
Quit it. You're bothering us, dude. Stop.
I know. But no, when it comes to volunteers, okay, we're always talking about retaining, right? We want to recruit and we want to retain. I think perhaps in the season of COVID-19, it has been a bigger deal to retain. We're trying to keep the people that we already had. So, I mean, what do you think is a hindrance, you know, when it comes to retaining? I mean, whether we are in COVID-19, post-COVID-19, what do you think is a hindrance to us really retaining volunteers? What do we need to do?
So I'm all about honesty with myself and honesty with others. So watch your feet, because I'm going to step on some toes. If you have high functioning volunteers or volunteers that are emerging to high functioning, they will be frustrated with last minute communication, with you not showing up on time, with them walking into the environment and the environment not being ready. So a lot of the reasons why we struggle with retention isn't their heart. It's the ground we've plowed to get them in the door. And so on the flip side of that, and I don't want to talk too much because you got to come to the conference and register. But
let's get into this.
Get into it. You know what I'm saying? But another thing too is that, you know, we burn out our superstars and they need a break. They need a break. And so I would just say, make sure that you're evaluating yourself. Are you doing what you're supposed to do to get things ready? And then don't burn your superstars out.
Don't burn your superstars out. You know, I'm going to tell you, really, Holly, I mean, when I first started, you know, in the ministry, and, you know, I went to seminary, started children's ministry, super thrown into that. You kind of thrown into leadership after that. And I had to learn you know, how to become a good leader. And if there was anything that I needed, it was really to learn how to follow first.
Yeah.
And that's actually how I learned to be the leader that I am today. And I also got to learn some of the weaknesses in me. I remember I used to get so irritated, like, why isn't this happening? Why isn't this leader doing this? And the Lord was like, Esther, that's you and your leadership. You need to get it together. Unless you won't be able to retain volunteers. So I'm so excited. We are talking about this. We are here today, you guys, because we are super excited. This is the Registration Blitz. If you have not registered for the children's ministry moving forward, I wonder if I could say that like 5 times fast and like not.
I know you couldn't. So go for it.
Conference. Listen, if you have not registered, what are you doing? I want you to register today. On the bottom of the screen is a website you have to go to. That is the link to register. I want you to register for this conference. It is going to be amazing. I have the amazing Holly Rogers here today, and we are talking about hot topics because at this conference, we are going to talk about hot, relevant topics to your children's ministry, to get your children's ministry to move forward. We don't want to move backwards, okay?
Right.
We are
you just said something. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm so excited. You just said something, Esther, that's so sinking true and is why people need to register for this conference, because I've seen the list of things that are going to be covered by all the different presenters. A lot of conferences cover how to do children's ministry, the big fun things and the object lessons, and that's critical and important because we're learning to speak their love language. Yep. But the leadership is missing. That leadership aspect, learning how to lead so you don't frustrate your team, lead so you can serve your pastor well. And this conference has those kinds of topics. So get registered.
Absolutely. Get registered. Yeah. Now, okay, so this is a topic that I'm super excited that we are talking about. I don't care, Holly, this is the last thing we talk about. We are talking about diversity matters in children's ministry.
Yeah,
man, this has just been a crazy season of racial unrest. All types of, it's not over. It is constantly something going on in the news. So many things. Are our children affected by this? Yes.
Yeah.
How important, Holly, is it to you, in your opinion? How important is diversity? How much does that matter when it comes to children's ministry? Because hey, we hear it, we've heard it before. Oh, it doesn't matter. We're all one. You know, just come on in. You're accepted. Let's talk about this. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'll say, and I'm just being hard on us as Christians and the body of Christ in general. Every single church in America, sometimes it seems like we have relegated a difficult conversation to the world that doesn't know Jesus and then complained about how they handle it.
Yeah.
You know, if we had a school shooting in our county, we would come to church the next Sunday prepared to minister to moms and dads and kids that have concerns, and no one would blink about it. But because it's race related or diversity related or equality related, or anything in that vein, for some reason, we feel like that has to be left out of the church. Yeah. And that's not okay. That's not okay. Jesus dealt with diversity issues in the Bible. And so, first of all, we just cannot be afraid to engage in that space. We don't need to dishonor God and God's people who have real concerns. And if we think kids aren't listening, you know, we can watch our kids all we want, but the sports figures that they admire are talking about it. The musicians that they admire are talking about it. The YouTubers that they admire are talking about it. So they're getting opinions.
Yeah. Do you think, Holly, that part of the fear of us actually engaging in that space is potentially our own lack of knowledge? Oh, you know, when it comes to other cultures, you know, and I know, I'll tell you, I mean, you know, I am raising not some, prayerfully only one black son.
Like animal kids coming out.
Yeah, you know, we don't want no more kids. Guys in the background, like, okay, whatever. I want 5 more. But, you know, and I love it because Guy is actually coming to the conference to talk about this issue. He has studied this academically. I'm so excited of all the value that he's going to share. But I think something that I've learned is that when we don't understand things, we get uncomfortable, you know? So is the solution to just hide it, sweep it under the rug and not talk about it? Or is it to do the necessary work that needs to be done to educate ourselves so that we can reach those children who don't look like us, who are sitting in our ministries, who are coming to be reached for Christ, but who may potentially be hurting?
Yeah.
How important is that? I mean, to just actually, do a little work.
Do the work. Do the work. I'll tell you just from my perspective, I am embarrassed what I didn't know. When I really started reading about the long-term effects of the racial injustice of America, I was shocked and embarrassed by what I did not know. And so you may think you know something, but I'm just promising you there's more to it than you realize. And so first of all, you need to engage in that learning space. When it specifically comes to kids ministry, there needs to be diversity from top down in every area of your ministry. They need to see frontline leaders, decision makers, people who have the authority to affect programming of all different races and genders in those positions. When I was called into ministry, I came from a really small conservative town. Can't you tell from the purple hair? That, women weren't pastors, and literally God called me into ministry. I was at a conference for students, and a woman was preaching. God showed me what I was going to be doing through someone who looked like me. And if we don't have diversity on stage, there's little boys and little girls of every race, who are looking for people that look like them to show them the way. And it's not that other people can't show different races things, but there is just a beauty in being able to envision what you're going to be one day. There's a purple-headed middle schooler one day that's going to look at me and say, I think I can, right? And God can use that. And so we diversity matters. I'll tell you really quickly, because I told you I could stay on this topic all day. I was watching this video, and it was talking about kids ministry curriculum and Bibles.
Come on now.
Things. I'm telling you. And it said most kids ministry curriculum and Bibles are monolithic. They show one race. They have Jesus and the disciples is white. And I was like, surely not. Again, things you don't know. I walked myself down to my kids ministry wall of Bibles and opened one up, and every character was white. And I went to my kids pastor and said, we've got to order new Bibles, because we have to have diversity in every area of our kids ministry. It matters. And it's your job and your anointing and your calling to shepherd it.
Holly, I love how you said most people don't know what they don't know. This is why we do conferences like this, so that you can get in the know, so that you can continue to be the blessing that God has called for you to be to children and to families. And everybody matters. We can't say that we don't see color, because if we don't see color, then we don't see particular families that are coming through our doors. So I'm so pumped that I have convinced this amazing speaker
guy
to come in and to talk about this important topic. We do not talk about this enough, but so Kevin, he's going to come on next, and he actually just sent me a message and said, I'm sorry for calling you on accident. I'm like, you mean I'm on live with him
on the live? And he's like, I didn't even mean to. Why are you guys
I'm so excited because Kevin is talking about how to work well with senior leadership, which I think at times it's a taboo topic, because a lot of times, in children's ministry, and I've been there before too, they don't care about our children's ministry, and you end up putting yourself on an island all by yourself. And the truth is, they do care. They care so much that they hire you. So learning how to work well with senior leadership is like a skill set that we need. So Holly, tell us, how important to you is it for children's ministry leaders to be aligned with senior leadership?
Yeah. It's critical. And, I feel like the thing that you said was just so spot on. They cared enough about kids ministry to hire you. What that also means is if the weight of shepherding children's ministry falls on the leader, the lead pastor, then it's only going to grow to the ability of the lead pastor to advocate for it. Which is why they brought in someone who eats, sleeps, breathes, prays for children's ministry. Your lead pastor wants you to worry about that so that they don't have to worry about that. So you need to find out where your lead pastor's heart is. If it's a mission, if you know a missions month is coming up, then you need to do a missions month in kids ministry. If there's an outreach project coming up, then you need to jump on board and say, hey, I want to do an outreach project. And then you turn kids ministry to a next level of family ministry, right? And so you've got the whole family involved. But yeah, I know it can be frustrating. But the truth is, if you're killing it, I'm not worried about you. I'm not coming in and checking on you. I'm like, I'm here for you. I'm praying for you. We'll have bi-monthly meetings and I'll celebrate with you. But if you're killing it, worry when I come and check in on you all the time.
Exactly. I mean, we have to be so excellent that, we can't be ignored. I think we worry, about that. Just be, and I think Gina McClain has said that. And I loved it. It always stayed with me. Be so excellent that you can't be ignored when you come to the table and you need things. You are so excellent. Yes, you can have this. Yes, we will work this out because it is so evident that everything that you do is done with a spirit of excellence.
That's so good. And when you win, everybody wins. When you win, the lead pastor wins. When the student ministry wins, you win. And so the lead pastor wants you to win because they want to win.
Yeah, they want to win. So Ryan Frank came out with this book, and I remember, and my pastor gave it to me. It's like one of the first children's ministry books I ever read. And I know why he gave it to me, because it was literally all about, it wasn't all about one thing. He wanted me to see one thing.
Yes. He's like,
I had to do with senior leadership. But it was, I was completely new. And what college didn't teach me about children's ministry, that was the book. Sorry, Ryan, if I'm messing up the title, but you'll get there if you just kind of Google a little bit of that. But it talked about, we think we know everything that the senior pastor carries. And we don't. And I think we have to be so careful in making the children's ministry the most important ministry, in our minds and in our hearts, because every ministry matters. And I think it's important to make sure we're doing what we need to do to support other ministries. And I think that also helps when it comes to, hey, when we need to get what we need to do. Okay.
Yeah. True story. And when you show up to things that are not kids ministry, if you want to help, if you want to be on your lead pastor side and you want to build social collateral and rapport and change in your pocket for future things, show up for something that is important to the lead pastor that has nothing to do with the kids ministry.
And God will cultivate a heart. Even if you don't care, I see God cultivate a heart, in leaders for other ministries, and to really be concerned and to care. But if we're so focused on what we're doing and we're so zeroed in on, no, the next generation is the most important ministry in the world, and you need to understand that we come just vicious when we need things, and we don't show compassion and concern for other ministries. We just miss the boat. But Holly, before you leave, I want to ask you another question. I'm super excited. If you are tuning in today, this is the Registration Blitz, because we have an amazing conference that is coming up in less than a week. This time on Saturday. Well, hopefully we'll be done by this time next Saturday. But this time we have some amazing speakers who are going to come to move your children's ministry forward. We have prayed for a fresh word to be on them for you. If you are not registered, you are missing the boat. We want you to register today. We want you to register your teams today for this amazing conference. I'm Holly Rogers, and we are going over hot topics, because at this conference, we are going to be talking about hot topics. But I have another question that I wanted us to get into before you get out of here today, Holly. So COVID, really, come on. What is that? It was everywhere. Oh my, it's still here. What is happening, right? It really challenged our ability, right?
Yeah.
Connect with kids. What do you think was the biggest hindrance? Why do we all like completely freak out?
I think that we were hit from the side and probably didn't realize how much we didn't know about technology and how we could leverage it to win.
Yeah.
It was just a quick learning curve for a lot of people.
I think it was the churches that were thriving in children's ministry, and just in ministry in general, because you saw those churches just disappear who had no clue what to do with digital technology. And then you had the ones who were already streaming. They were already doing these things. It seemed as if they were more equipped for this season. So I completely agree with you. It is so important that we are equipped and that we are doing the research when it comes to actually being good at using digital technology, because that was something else that I noticed in this season, because some of us, we were desperate. Okay, we got to come up with something, but we need to learn how to excel. Digital technology is the future. I'm not saying it's all about digital technology, but you can't say future and leave out digital technology. So it's important as leaders who are reaching and preparing ourselves to reach tomorrow's generation that we are connected with it, that we've done the necessary homework and research on how to reach children, because we are dealing with digital natives. They are already there. That was my favorite thing, Holly, about this pandemic. It forced us, when we were so comfortable in our churches and in our spaces, to finally go where they are. And it was a learning curve, because it got pretty ugly in these children's ministry streets with some of these videos.
Well, and I'll tell you this too. Another thing that pandemic has changed that will never go back is that there is no longer in-person church and I can hop online and watch anymore. It's just church.
Yeah.
There's whether you decide to watch it online or in person, you're considering yourself part of the church community. And so for families that want to take their kids out during the summer and go camping and miss 4 weeks of in-person church, they're going to still feel like they are part of the church community, attending service and involved in learning, but just at a different location. And they're valuing it the same. And so we have to do the same. We have to do
the same. The church didn't stop. They didn't stop reaching people when the pandemic hit. They went virtual. So if they went virtual, then we need to go virtual, and we need to learn how to do it well. So Holly, thank you so much for hanging out. Holly's my girl. Good. Super. I mean, you guys, if you don't know Holly, you need to get to know Holly. She is so amazing. Love her so much. Holly, thank you so much for hanging out with us today at the Registration Blitz. If you are not registered, you need to get registered today. Don't wait till tomorrow. I mean, I will probably still let you in tomorrow, but don't wait for tomorrow. Register today. Share this with somebody who you know that it will help. We are going to have an amazing day of equipping. This time next weekend is going to be amazing. We aren't just stopping with talking. We ain't just going to give workshop. We're going to have some worship too. It is going to be everything. You do not want to miss it. The bottom of the screen, it is scrolling how you register. Go to the website and register today. You guys, we are going to take a 10-minute break, and we are going to be back with the amazing Pastor Kevin Atkins who will be coming up next. We'll see you soon. All right, we are back. I'm so excited about this next one, you guys. I mean, I was excited about you too, Holly. No,
You should be excited about Holly. She's awesome.
Holly's like everyone's friend. I'm super excited.
She's on the dark side now.
We have the amazing Pastor Kevin Atkins with us today at the Registration Blitz. If you are watching, we're super excited, and we want to make sure next week, the same day that you are here, we are going to have an amazing day of equipping at the third annual 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is the third one. Children's Ministry Moving Forward virtual conference, and we want to make sure that you are there. So if you have not registered, make sure you register. Guys, share this. If you are watching, I want you to share this. We want to add as much value as possible. Kevin is here. Kevin, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, Esther, it was so good to be with you today. Thanks for the invite. So excited about the conference coming up next week, 7 days from today. And I know we're super excited to be there, to be a part of it. So my name is Kevin Atkins, as Ms. Esther said. And this is my and my wife's 27th year to be in kids ministry. We started in 1994. I know we're old.
So you're an expert. You're a guru.
Right. And so, but our home is in, we're from Texas. We moved to Alabama about 10 years ago in 2011. And we've been serving at Life Church Huntsville for right at 10 years now. And God has blessed us there. And, you know, before full-time ministry, I was a high school football coach and junior high football coach. And
you look like a football coach.
Yeah. And,
I mean, even how you wear your shirt looks like you should be like on the field.
Right.
Hey,
I would love to say it's muscle, but it's not muscle.
So, Kevin, most people don't know that you are the children's pastor, and I serve faithfully in Life Kids. And it's so funny. So people always say, they tell me, hey, so you're the children's pastor at Life Church Huntsville, right? And I'm like, no. They're like, you're not? I put in my time, okay? I put in my 20 years.
That's right.
But I love serving in your ministry. So Kevin calls me Miss Esther because that's what the kids call me in Life Kids. So that's what we get used to, just saying that. But listen, Kevin is here because we are going to talk about the future of children's ministry. Part of what we're doing is to be able to help leaders to continue into the future to reach tomorrow's generation. This is why we are doing this conference. We're not doing it for ourselves. We're not doing it to say, look at us. Yes, our flyers are amazing, but we are doing this for the glory of God. And we want you to be a part of the fresh word that he has put on our heart. So when it comes to the future, okay, in children's ministry, Kevin, tell us how important to you, in your opinion, how important is it to be futuristic in children's ministry?
Ooh, good question. I'll tell you one reason why it's important is because we don't know the future. Mm-hmm. And if we've learned anything this past year is that we don't have any idea what tomorrow holds. Yep. And if we've learned anything, we should always be looking, instead of at the present, more over the horizon from now on. Because, you know, things that come over the horizon aren't, I mean, they surprise us sometimes, like, you know, the pandemic and all that. I mean, no one saw that coming. So I think from this point on, not that we want it to happen again, but, you know, we just know, I mean, I'll be honest, the way the world is today, we just don't know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not an end times guru or end times guy, not anything like that. But, you know, I've learned this season to be ready for anything.
Yeah.
And to start thinking now what could happen. I guess we should start talking about the what ifs.
Yeah.
You know, what if in 2022 this happened? Mm-hmm. What if in 2023 this happened?
Yeah.
And we have to really look at those what ifs.
Yeah.
And sit down and like write those out and think, you know, what if that happened?
Yeah.
You know, because there's nothing outside crazy now. Okay.
Yeah. There's nothing. You've heard it today from Kevin Atkins.
So
there's nothing outside of crazy.
Yes, we have busted the crazy mold. Okay. So I just think we have, because we don't know the future, we are on the hook now to be futuristic, to be looking ahead, and not just think about today. Today's important.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm prepared for tomorrow on Sunday. But to be honest, tomorrow is natural. Yeah. Tomorrow I could do with my eyes closed. Yeah. I mean, 27 years of doing this. Tomorrow is not where I need to be, thinking about futuristic. 2022 and 23 and what if this happened? We should be sitting down and just kind of writing out some scenarios. Yeah. Because now that we know that what a pandemic does, what about weather? Things that take out things and things that, I'm saying? I mean, you don't want to think about bad things, but I think we have to start looking at that because we don't want the church to stop. It's not going to stop, but at the same time, we have to be innovative on how we navigate through those futuristic waters.
And Kevin, I don't think, I definitely think in children's ministry, we need to do a better job. I think you are correct. This season was so crazy. I think that it taught us a lot in children's ministry. But if anything, I think that it taught us we need to be ready for things before they get here, before they come. When it comes to the digital age, are we ready? Do we know what's coming? Right. Before it comes, do we go to the appropriate resources? I was in Barnes and Nobles the other day, and there was a magazine that is all about technology, everything that's coming. We have such an amazing opportunity, but I think in children's ministry, for a lot of us, we get stuck in the status quo of how we're doing things. A Sunday prepared. We have these dreams of grandeur when we get into children's ministry, but it's so easy to get caught in the status quo of things and to really get stagnant that we forget that it is our job to be ready for things like this before they come. And of course, with this pandemic, it hit us all like crazy. And we were all forced. I did a talk today, Kevin, and I told them it was for a particular ministry. I said, I don't care what ministry you are in. Everybody was affected by this pandemic and had to shift their approach. But definitely, I would say those who were already doing things that were more futuristic, they were ready when it came. So yes, it is so important to be futuristic. But so Kevin, you have this, what is it, the Gaga pit in Life Kids? Guys, oh my goodness. So Kevin is talking about this Gaga pit. We're in this leadership team meeting, and I'm like, what the heck is up with this Gaga pit? Why is it so cool? I don't understand what's the big deal about. These are secret things you're thinking when you're sitting in meetings. Right. And he gets this Gaga pit, right? These kids are going crazy. They are living for this Gaga pit. And I've said this before. My son, he's super shy, 6, just turned 7, little guy, didn't talk to anybody. And it was through that Gaga pit that he opened up. Yeah. So you having that was really something that was trending. You showed me you really knew what was trending with the kids. And sometimes we can struggle with that, especially if we get stuck in doing the everyday mundane things that come along with doing our job as children's ministry leaders. So how do you, Kevin, keep up with what's trending with kids? Because that's what we're going to talk about in the children's ministry moving forward virtual conference. If you are not registered, you need to register right now for this conference. It is going to be an amazing day of equipping. It is all about learning, how to, and this is a part of it, how to stay in line with futuristic thinking. Okay, we're going to be talking about that. Kevin, tell us, how are you so cool when it comes? How do you just know? How can somebody like me talk to you in the background and act like you don't know what you're talking about, and then you just surprise me?
Well, first of all, you call me cool. That's I don't get called that very often, so that's good, especially by my own kids. So being observant. I think, for example, the Gaga pit. That's something that we've had our church camp for the last few years, and the kids just gravitated to it. And so, knowing how well the kids liked that at their youth camp, I thought, man, wouldn't it be cool to get that to where they didn't have to wait for camp? Because that's one time a year. And so the Gaga Pit is a thing where they all play together. They learn how to work well together most of the time, without having to referee them.
They really do.
Yeah, but it's just a good camaraderie thing, pre-service, post-service. But let me be transparent with that Gaga Ball Pit, because it's been great. I agree, and it's if I could be honest, probably our first time guests when the kids leave and they tell their mom and dad, we want to go to the Gaga Ball Pit church. It's probably what we're being tagged as. However, now the challenge is, this is for any kid pastor out there, anytime you do something like that, big like that, where the kids love, now my job is to make sure the focal point of the morning is not Gaga Ball, because that's the challenge now, right? Because I don't want kids going home and just talking about Gaga Ball.
Yeah,
I want them going home talking about Jesus.
Yeah.
So now the challenge is not letting the Gaga Ball Pit be the coolest thing in the morning.
Maybe you should do your lesson in the middle of the Gaga Ball.
Right? For real? I know. I mean, it's
and if you hit me, you're out.
That's right. That's right. And I mean, it's been great. It's been great. But being relevant with the kids, one thing you ask kids, because man, I'm 46 years old, about to be 47. I'm probably not on YouTube Kids and probably not watching Disney as much as I did when my kids were little. So if you want to know what's trending, ask the kids, because they will tell you. I mean, they'll tell you point blank. I mean, save yourself a Google search. Just go to your kids in your ministry, pre-service, sit by one of them and say, hey, man, so what's cool today? What are you watching on your tablet?
Yeah.
And when they tell you, then that's your cue that you go research. Okay, if they say, a name of a YouTube show, then you go look at it.
You let the kids. So you're saying you let the kids give you the homework.
Right. Like Dude Perfect. Those guys. Kids love them. Mr. Beast. I mean, all that's things that you just have to ask them and know they're. And if you have kids of your own, you ask your own kids. When my kids were at home and little, that's how I stayed relevant. Yep. I would always talk to them. Hey, Spencer. Hey, Sam. Hey, Simon. What are you guys watching? What is everyone talking about at school? Okay. Yeah. And so kind of take that, research it, and then when you are planning your events and planning your services, just keep that in your closet to kind of pull some of those things out, to connect with your kids. You don't have to drive it the whole service, but hey, pull out, for a minute, a video of Dude Perfect, or pull out a video of one of your cool shows, and it just connects with them.
Just connect with them. My favorite part, Kevin, of serving in children's ministry, even what I do, God has afforded me the amazing opportunity to just reach so many people, so many leaders, when it comes to just training and equipping in children's ministry. But one of my favorite things to do is actually, I guess people will know now that I'm saying it, is to serve.
Right.
And in your children's ministry, because I get to stay connected with kids. Right. I'm never removed from where they are. I know what's trending because I sit, I talk with them. I play the video games. I get on my knees and talk to Miranda about her pretty dress and ask her what she did this weekend. And you really get to get into their heads and into their hearts. So that is one of my favorite things. If you guys are watching today, we are with the amazing Pastor Kevin Atkins, children's pastor at Life Church Huntsville. And he is going to be speaking to us next week at the Children's Ministry Moving Forward virtual conference. If you are not registered, what are you doing? It is going to be an incredible time. We have some amazing topics. Kevin, my favorite thing is that it's not just, we're not just doing cliche topics. We are doing, we want to be able to help you right where you are, and we want to help you to move your children's ministry forward in the future. We are talking about what does it look like now. We're talking about futuristic things. What does it look like now for your children's ministry, and to really structure it for growth in the future? What does it look like when we have so many kids who come in and some cultures who don't look like us? That might not be, in our realm of thinking or understanding. How can we reach them and make sure they're not left out? We are talking about so many amazing things. This conference is for those who want to be innovative in what they do in children's ministry. So speaking of that, Kevin Atkins, okay, because we all talk about this, right? We all say it's so important to be innovative in your approach in children's ministry. But I want to know from Kevin Atkins, the amazing Kevin Atkins, children's pastor, leader of a department, what does being innovative mean for you?
Oh, so, just always trying to, well, I'll tell you one thing I've done, Esther, that I've changed probably in the last year or so is in being innovative for myself. Because if you are innovative, if you teach yourself to be innovative, that leaks out to your team. But is listening to more podcasts, listening to a lot more, different topics, and not just in KidMin, but even the, I hate this word, secular, top, books and things like that.
Yeah.
But I have been trying to even read faster. Like I read a book called Limitless this year, where
I know.
it's because, and this is the reason why, is because of the futuristic thing, because of where we're heading, and to be ready for what's coming ahead on the horizon. I want to be the best I can be, and the older I get, I just want to be sure that I'm still on my toes about things. Yeah. So I'm always finding ways how to be better, with my memory, with my reading, my comprehension.
Get a lot of that content.
Yeah, just a lot of things that I can take all that and apply that to being more creative for my kids and for my team. And so, I mean, being innovative doesn't have to be like creating something like brand new all the time, but being innovative can just getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
For some people, being innovative is just getting out of that rut, getting out of that comfort zone where you've always just kind of cruised for a long time, and then realizing, you know what, I need to expand my mind, expand my learning. To not just KidMin, because this is what I'd read 15 KidMin books a year. That's great, but so this year my challenge is I'm reading a lot more books outside of KidMin. Okay, things that will stretch you, things that will stretch your thinking, things that will stretch your learning. All of that is going to pour back into your ministry. Yeah, and so to me, that's being innovative. Again, that's a personal thing.
I love it, Kevin, because you have to be whole in children's ministry. It's not just all about the children's ministry. You can't be broken in every other area of your life and then come in and lead a department. Well, you have to be reaching out to resources. So I'm the same thing. I like to read not just children's ministry books. I like to read books on marriage because I want to have a strong marriage. I like to read books on finances because I want to make sure that our finances are straight. I mean, just in every area. But I have to ask you, Kevin, are you reading faster now that you have read Limitless? Are you reading? Are you getting in more content now? Do you feel like you're reading?
Yes. So we're in April right now. And so I've already read this year like 15 books, which is not my norm.
Wow, that's awesome.
I mean, typically I read about 10 books a year, one every month and a half or whatever. But now I've read 15. It's only been 4 months. And so it works. I mean, there is such thing as speed reading. And there is such thing as you can speed read and comprehend at the same time. People think you speed read, you're just reading words that can't comprehend, but you can. And so, I mean, it sounds crazy, but again, it goes back to where I just want to gain as much content as I can and learn as much as I can, because I feel like God has a lot more for me in the future, and I can't get stagnant.
Kevin, I love how you said that being innovative isn't I mean, it's not just creating something completely brand new, because I think that a lot of us feel that way. And we just like,
yeah, I gotta have something new.
Yeah, but being innovative where you are. What's innovative for you? If you know you need to get in more content, for me, Audible was innovative for me. You know, I was so busy all the time, but now I'm able to actually listen to books that was something that was innovative for me. So now I'm able to get in that reading and to get in the necessary content that I need to get into and to have done for the level of leadership that I want to do. You guys, if you are listening and you are watching today, I'm with the amazing Kevin Atkins. Okay, we are talking about children's ministry because it is an amazing event that is happening this time next week. On Saturday is the Children's Ministry Moving Forward virtual conference. So if you have not registered for that, we want you to be there. We are ready. Are you? If you're watching this, you know it's going to bless somebody to be there. Make sure that you share the link at the bottom of the screen is scrolling how you register. Make sure you get your ticket. I am telling you that you will be blessed. Kevin is going to be there with us. Kevin, tell us, what topic are you doing at the conference?
Yeah, so I am super excited about this topic. You know, I did not know when you first asked me to do this topic, I was kind of like, yeah, I could probably do it. But man, the more I've dived into it, I am super stoked about it because God has really revealed some pretty cool stuff to me through this about how to work with your senior leadership, how to work with your senior pastor. I'm very blessed that my senior pastor and I, at 10 years, we've always had a pretty good flow. Yeah. But I know that's not the same for everyone. Yeah. I know everyone sometimes is not quite like that, and there might be some walls, and that does affect ministry. So I'm super excited to be just talking about how we can work with our senior leadership. I've titled my whole thing called Sync, SYNC. And so we're going to talk about how you can be in sync with your leadership. How you can be in sync with your senior leadership. So I'm super excited about it. It's going to be, and it's all brand new content for me. It's my first time to do this. So everything that I teach that day is going to be fresh. So I love when I get to write up fresh stuff, because Esther, a lot of times over the years, you bank a lot of stuff and you pull stuff out for certain things, but man, I love the opportunity to write something fresh.
And I don't think, Kevin, that most people realize that that's a skill set that needs to be cultivated, over time. I love how you said walls. How many of us have been in a situation, you may not be in Kevin's situation where, when it comes to you in leadership, where everything is nice and smooth. And, it is a skill set to learn how to be invited to the table. You can be at the table and still not be invited and be a respected voice at the table. This is why, Kevin, I was like, oh my goodness, you are the perfect person for this talk. Because so at our church, everyone's name is Kevin. So this is going to sound confusing, but the other pastor, Kevin, who is actually the senior pastor, Pastor Kevin McGlamory, how he honors you and Tracy constantly. I'm like, that man is not just sitting at the table. He has been invited and he's a respected voice. So I knew that you would add so much value there. But we are sitting here, we are talking about the future of children's ministry. So I want to ask you, Kevin, because I was just talking to Holly and I said something. I said, you can't separate technology from future. You just can't. Right. So talk to us about how has technology changed the way that you do children's ministry?
One thing technology did for me was it pushed me to learn something new. Prior COVID, I'm a techie guy. I'm not like anti-tech, and I know tech. And I grew up. Being a school teacher, we had to be real techie in our class. It's not that, but like the video aspect of it, the video editing. So the moment that we hit the pandemic, man, the Holy Spirit showed me like, you better learn a new skill. It's time to learn a new skill. So technology pushed me to learn a new skill. And I would say I would hope that most Kidman leaders through this season has learned a new skill.
Yeah.
Because I think it's imperative that we do that, especially during that shutdown time when maybe things weren't quite as busy. What a better time than to learn something new. And so I sit down and I try to self-teach myself, video editing, things like that. And it's for one thing, it's hard.
It's work, right?
It's hard. And, YouTube can only teach you so much. And, so technology drives us to be better. Technology drives us to learn new things. You can't say that you support technology, but refuse to learn something new. Okay. So I'll just lay that out there. I mean, you can't say, oh yeah, we love technology, but you refuse to learn. Yeah. Those can't go hand in hand. You can't say that you love technology and you're all about it. And then when someone asks you to learn something new, oh no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
They don't connect. If you're going to bring technology into your ministry, you got to stretch yourself. You got to learn new things, and you got to be able to, go where the kids are. And you can't be that person that complains about kids having phones and tablets.
Yeah.
You have to leave that mindset. That battle was lost a long, long time.
Kevin, I want to say I love that. That was one of my favorite things in the ministry when I first joined. I got in, and that was something that I noticed. In particular, in your children's ministry, when the kids came in, and they had that downtime, a lot of children's ministries have those spaces for the kids to have the downtime before, the real show starts. Right. And the kids are coming in, and some of them had their phones, some of them were on their phones, but I was so impressed with it wasn't here's the basket, put your phone in the basket, you get it after what, it was not an old school approach. It was literally this approach of trust. And I know so many people who be like, oh, that's not going to work. No, you go put your phone in the basket, but you could see that you have cultivated this environment of trust with these kids that when they actually go in, it's not a problem. I don't see them on their phones. They put them phones up under their desk or their seats, and they are completely fine. So that was definitely something I was so impressed with. But I don't, before we leave, Kevin, if you are watching, listen, if you are not registered, this is a registration blitz. I am surprised I didn't make Kevin put on a wig and do a dance because we are so.
I'm not a good dancer.
I have seen him put on a wig though. Okay, he's in children's ministry, all right?
I need a wig.
But you need to register for this conference. It is going to be so good. I am excited. I'm hosting this, and I'm excited for all the value that it is going to add to me. I don't want it to just add it to me and to us. We want to add it to you. We have Kevin, we have amazing people from all over the country who are coming to be a part of this. Are you one of them? Make sure you register your team. If you're registering by yourself, bring a friend. We're going to have a great time. But Kevin, before we get out of here, I think when it comes to the future in children's ministry, we got to talk about partnering with parents, because I'm telling you, in this season, I think a lot of children's ministry leaders learn maybe how under-equipped we were when it came to partnering with parents. Because as a parent, I'm like, oh no, children's ministry is shut down. Like, what are we gonna do? So talk to us really quickly about what do you think about the future of children's ministry when it comes to partnering with parents?
I think as Kidman leaders, we have to learn that the parents only do so much because of their busy lives and what they do with the kids. When it comes to the spiritual side, I believe we have to fight for them. And I believe, we have to do the research for them. And we've got to go out there and find those things that can deter their children, things that can get their children's focus off God. Yeah. And come alongside them and just, hey, show them, hey, we found this. Be sure and watch this, and send video links, or even having a YouTube page just for your parents. where it's just a parent page where they can watch videos, and if you need to talk to them, for example, I did a video last month about teaching parents how to buy a Bible for your kids.
Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of parents, that's overwhelming. When they go buy a Bible, they just buy one with all these words in it, and your kids five. You know what I mean? So, it's important as the kids pastor to remind your parents, hey, let's be sure and get the Bible on their reading level. Okay,
Yeah.
if they're 4, don't buy them the old King James Version Bible.
The old King James version. Oh Lord, are there parents and leaders who get the old King James version
I
for
know.
your kids?
Right.
They really need to be. If that's the case, they really need to be at the children's ministry moving forward virtual conference.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Kevin, my favorite thing that I love that you do, I'm just saying it from a parent perspective. I love it when it's things going on that we may not realize are happening that may be affecting our kids, and you are so quick as a children's ministry leader to put it out through social media, email, whatever. You use digital technology to make sure you go where we are, to make sure that we know exactly what's going on, so that we are in a battle for the hearts and minds of children. But as a parent, we be running around like crazy. Sometimes we lose track of our kids and where they are mentally and what's going out there. And I love how you fact check. Soon as you fact check things and you make sure they're legit, then you go to the parents and you let them know. I think that is so important in partnering with parents.
Yeah, never be impulsive.
Never be impulsive.
Yeah,
even
never
with
be
devil
impulsive.
shoes.
Don't share everything you see. Do some research. To every leader out there, do some research, fact check it, make sure it's legit before you start blowing your parents up. Because there's nothing I had to come back from the backside and say, "Oh, psych, that wasn't real."
My bad. That was an accident. That really wasn't true. The children's ministry leader who cried wolf. You do not want to be that. Kevin, oh my goodness. Kevin knows he's my buddy. Kevin, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. If you are not registered for this conference, you have got to get registered. That's the word, right? Guys in the background. He's my grammar check person. Get.
You're producing.
It's going to be a great time. It is going to be a great time. This is the registration blitz. That means time is running out, and I want you to be there. So we are going to go ahead and take about a 10-minute break, and we are going to come back with Cynthia Dixon, and she is going to share some amazing things with us. So stay tuned, share. It's the children's ministry moving forward. Registration Blitz. All right, we'll see you guys soon. All right. We are back. There's my friend. I am super excited. If you are watching, I want you to share this because one, we have been having an amazing time at this registration blast. People are registering. They are getting in because this time next week, it is going down. The Children's Ministry Moving Forward virtual conference is happening, and we don't want you to miss this. Check this out, you guys. We have some amazing topics that are happening at the conference. Cynthia, she is talking about structuring your children's ministry for growth, recruiting volunteers post COVID-19. How many of us need help with that? Children's ministry and technology in this crazy season. How many of us were not prepared when it came to this shift? Working with senior leadership, that takes a skill to know how to truly not just be sitting at the table, but to be invited to the table, touching the heart of a child. This is why we do what we do, to touch the heart of a child, connecting with kids. Throughout the week, how do we successfully reach these digital natives and these millennials and just everyone? How do we reach children and families throughout the week? Diversity matters. Diversity is so important, and it does matter in children's ministry and reaching kids outside of the four walls of the church. Guess what? Who knew? It's not just about the kids who show up, but the kids who walk past the church on Sunday. They matter just as they're just as important. This is why we are doing this conference, and we don't want you to miss it. We want you to register for this conference. Bottom of the screen. Go to the website. Make sure you're registered. If you know someone that you just know this will add so much value to the way they do children's ministry, register. Hey, you don't even have to be in children's ministry, and I will tell you, if you are a leader in ministry, that this conference will benefit you. But I am so excited because I am sitting here with the beautiful Cynthia Dixon from Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship. I always have to say Dr. Tony Evans Church in case people don't know that Cynthia is a big wig in these streets. If you don't know, so I was in Dallas last week for the Effective Living 5K. We had a great time with our dear friend Ricardo Miller, and it was time for us to go. We're crazy. We brought the kids. I didn't understand why the trip was so stressful, than it was the time before. And then I realized because we have two young children in the back, 10-hour, 30-minute trip. But before we left, I'm like, you know what? We're going to leave early the next morning. I said, I cannot leave without seeing my friend Cynthia. We're just going to have to get, and we did. We got back at almost midnight, and I woke up the next morning and felt paralyzed. And the first thing I did, put my hand up. I said, totally worth it. So me and Cynthia, we were taking over Dallas a couple weeks ago. But Cynthia, I'm so excited that you are hanging out with us today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, Esther. I'm Cynthia Dixon, and of course, Esther has mentioned I am the Children's Ministry Director at Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship Church. My pastor, Dr. Tony Evans, yay, shout out to him. I've been in children's ministry for over 25 years, but though, just only a day after I was born. And so I've done children's ministry on a mega scale and small churches, so I pretty much know everything in between as well.
And you work with the Potter's House too.
Yes, I was there for approximately 15 years as far as on staff, and then but as a member right at 17 years.
That's what TV takes, you guys. If you're watching and you don't know, I'm just trying to explain to you how much of a big wig Cynthia is.
I'm not. I'm just a person that's just in the kingdom, just trying to do my part in the kingdom, a part of the kingdom agenda. So that and working with kids all my life. And so that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Of course, I have a husband. We have 4 children. I'm currently in school. And so I'm just, doing a lot of crazy things all at the same time.
All over the place.
All over the place. And here with my friend Esther for this conference
She
next
said
week.
yes.
Please register. So I'm here.
Cynthia is a progressive children's ministry leader.
See, I was going to put my shirt on, but I'm going to tell you, Esther. I said my son says, so you're gonna put it on again, and everybody's gonna see you. So I'm showing off Dallas. So I'm representing Dallas.
I love it, Cynthia. I'm so glad that you are hanging out with us today. When I was, thinking of who will be perfect to talk to us about structuring our children's ministry for growth next week at the conference, I'm like, I gotta get Cynthia. She knows the ins and outs. She is going to be able to help people, truly help people, and not just come up with random ideas that might help you, but this is proven experience from this dynamic leader. So I'm so excited, Cynthia. I wanted to talk about uncertainty and change because in this season, I mean, this has just been kind of a crazy season of uncertainty for so many. So I wanted to ask you, because I know we've all been affected by so many different challenges. What has been the biggest challenge that this season of uncertainty has brought upon you and your ministry?
Well, for us, our biggest challenge was we missed our kids. That's big for us on relationship, not being able to be there in person with them. And so the challenge was not being able to be in their presence. Oftentimes our kids depend on, you know how growing up, you love your mom, you love your dad, but that other extra person in your life is those people that you can kind of talk to and have relationship about problems and issues that you may have. And so we missed those kids and those opportunities to have that connection on one-on-one. That was our biggest challenge. So figuring out what to do and how to stay connected to those kids. And so for us, immediately when we went through our shutdown mode in Dallas, we started in March. We shut down. And so for many churches, they stayed open, but we went into shutdown mode. It is crucial, Esther, to have a structured team already in place, just in case of the emergency.
Already in place.
And so when you have a structured team already in place, then going into a flip mode, turning on a dime is so much easier, much easier, because now you're not spinning saying, let's try to figure out, oh my gosh, it was, okay, now we're in a work mode. So by having a structured team of kids ministry staff and volunteers, immediately I knew that we were going to go into a shutdown mode. And so with that, going into that mode is, we didn't know how long. In the beginning, it was like maybe a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Then it went to a month and 2 months. So immediately after the notification came in, we began to meet as a team by Zoom. Technology is so
important.
And so we were already, one of those types of ministries that, we're a technology driven anyway.
And you guys were adapting. Like you immediately went in and you adapted for this change.
Exactly. Immediately. And because our ministry embraces technology, it was so much easier. So immediately we went into the structure of, okay, let's meet. The first week we met, because there's a team. I have, and I'll talk about it sometime next week, is how to structure your staff and volunteers. I already had.
We ain't giving it all away today, are we, Cynthia? You have to register
if you want to
the
get
conference.
So I already had, and I will talk about that, how to do that team. But there was a team already in place. So this curve of our current climate didn't throw us. And so that's crucial. It didn't throw us like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? It was okay. Now we're prepared for the emergency, and so we went into that preparedness of those plans that we initially had already pre-planned out. It's always good to have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and so we were doing that.
HIJK
all the way to Z.
You really good.
And for us. Now it got to be, okay, we have a plan of action. We're going to embrace a technology that we were already embracing, but taking it to the next level. And then going from there. Our challenges were, again, the same challenges as most
people,
schools. Did people have the technology? personal technology. How do we connect with those people? If they didn't have the personal technology, how can we get it for them?
Yeah.
So we as a ministry were able to give technology to some people.
And that's
In other
new.
words-
That's new because I haven't even heard of that yet to help me, because the only way to connect, this was a reality. For most of the country and around the world, you had to be able to connect through digital technology. So to be able to give that, away, instead of just just having them feel like they're left out, that they're just not a part of it. Like, that is incredible. This is why Cynthia is going to be at our conference next week. The Children's Ministry Moving Forward virtual conference is happening this time next week. You do not want to miss it. I'm telling you, $25 is the fee. You're basically paying. That's like paying with no money. That's like free in comparison to the quality that is going to be added to you. It is going to be an incredible day of equipping. We ain't just going to talk at you either. We got songbirds. We are going to worship God. It is all about glorifying our King. So I am so excited. Cynthia, let me ask you, in your opinion, how can leaders be more prepared for seasons of uncertainty? Because it seemed like you guys, you jumped in, you adapted. For leaders who maybe struggled a little bit more, how can they be prepared?
First of all, you have to make sure that emergencies are on your priority list. As a leader, we can't always assume that everything is just going to go smooth sailing all the time. So as a leader, I have to always have that conscious mind that, at any given time, something may come up.
Yeah.
A preparation plan, from your safety preparation plan to, in case we don't go in person, is there a plan? So as a leader, you have to and that's part of your leadership skills. You have to always, like they say, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. That has to always be of the scope. Yes, we disciple kids. Yes, we want to lead them to Christ. Yes, we want to do all those things, and we're going to do those things. But you cannot do those things unless you have prepared yourself on an administrative level as a leader.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, a lot of leaders are great at discipleship, but have no administrative skills. Yeah. And I say that, just because that is not something that you can just gain, but you have to have that within you. Yeah. And be able to structure and put things together, because again, in the kingdom of God, God, is a God of order, and he did set up, structure. Yeah. And you cannot do ministry without having structure. And so as a leader, to be better focused for the next, event, because there is going to be another event of some sort. We don't know what it is, but there always
is. If you live long enough, there is going to be another event. Cynthia, this is why I love how you are so team oriented, because the truth is, you don't have to be, amazing at everything. If you have a strong team around you, if I have a Cynthia around me, I may not have to be as good at administrative skills. Having a skill, and that's why our teams have to be so diverse and different. If you have a team that is full of people, if I have a bunch of Cynthias on my team, I am going to be missing the boat. I need people who are creative. I need people who are administrative. I know people who can put 2 rocks together and create something incredible for the kids and sets and displays. We need it all when it comes to teams. So I love, Cynthia, that every time I hear from you, you are always talking about how important it is to be team oriented. Cynthia is a boss, y'all. She is the boss. She's a humble boss. You see her? Do you see her expression? She's a humble boss. Guys, if you are tuning in, I'm with the amazing Cynthia Dixon with Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship. She is here today. We're talking about uncertainty and change because we want to get you ready, because on next week, we are having a conference. It is going to be an amazing time. If you have not registered, you need to register today. Look at the link below. Go to the site, register, get your tickets. It is going to be an incredible day of equipping. I am telling you, you are not going to be sorry. Register. Cynthia, tell me. It just seems like you guys have just been doing this incredible job at your church,
Mm.
you know, and it's because you have a team. It's because it's not just you doing it by yourself. You know how to delegate those tasks. You have created a culture where people jump in and get the job done. How do you, so in your opinion, how do you think people have weathered, you know, in this kind of season of uncertainty? I mean, whether we're talking about the kids, you know, the volunteers, how do you think that they've handled everything?
Well, for the most part, many of them have handled it pretty well.
Yeah.
Now, we do have some people, there was some challenges. They didn't handle it so well. That's okay.
Yeah.
Seek help for those people. We did have people that we did lose along the way. That's understandable.
Yeah.
We have some people that says, I'm not going to return back. I don't feel safe at this time. Perfectly understandable. But in that same token, I didn't totally lose them. I had built another platform along with this to be able to still utilize those same people.
And she ain't gonna tell you how she did that because you're gonna have to come to the conference. Look at it. She's like, no. You're gonna have to come to the conference and figure it out. Because I know some of y'all are cheating. I know y'all gonna come back and watch this, but you know what? I don't have to go because Cynthia gave me all the goods. Let me write this. No, we ain't telling you. But let me tell you something. This woman knows if you haven't registered, you need to register. It is going to be a great time. Cynthia, tell me about the changes. Okay, so like you've had so many changes, and we all know the older you get, it is harder to change. I mean, that's just a reality. But out of all the changes and how you guys had to shift, what was your favorite change that you will keep into the future, going into the future?
You want me to narrow that down? Every change we make, we're going to keep.
Oh, wow.
Every change we make, we're going to keep. And you probably said, well, because I believe that this season was a reset. I believe this season was a rethinking. I believe this season was a restructuring. And so maybe God was allowing this opportunity to say what needs to be done that should have been done all along, or needs to for the next level of ministry in children and kids ministry. And so all the changes we have done, and I'm not going to tell everyone the changes we've done. Come back and see. Register for the conference. Is that every single one of them, and there is at least 15 of those changes that are major changes that we're going to keep all 15 of those. Some people are keeping their changes and says, okay, I'm gonna flip back. Nothing, most of the things that we did prior to the changes, we're not keeping.
Wow. We're
not keeping. We're keeping maybe 2 things, and that's programming curriculum. But everything else is a reset.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not gonna say anything of the reset.
You're not. Cynthia, tell us, give us some advice. Because I mean, just your wisdom is just absolutely ridiculous when it comes to children's ministry. So, I mean, what advice do you have for those who are leading through change?
Take a break. Take a break.
We just got back from Cancun. You know, amen in that one.
Leaders do not take breaks. Yeah. They say they take breaks. They try to take breaks. They don't take breaks. But my biggest thing is take a break. I said it on the last time you and Esther and I talked.
She mad. She hit the table.
Take a break, because you cannot go to the next level of ministry if you are exhausted, tired, frustrated, and it shows. The kids will see it. They will know it. Take a break.
What do you think prevents people from taking a break? Yeah, guilt. Yeah,
guilt. I'm just gonna say guilt. Oh, if I'm not there, then who's gonna do it? Oh, if I take a break, then something, and they gonna think that I'm guilt. Take a break. Take a break.
Cynthia, I get like that though. Sometimes, I mean, I get tense, and there's this guilt. You are so right. It's this guilt that if I'm taking a break, I'm being lazy. Because there's so many other things that I could be doing right now. And am I not glorifying God? Am I, being stagnant?
So you, like I tell the whole group, ministry will always continue with you or without you. 2, we need you for the marathon and not the sprint. And 3, trust and believe that it was going on before you, and God has a plan that it's going to go on after you. God needs you to be able to be functional for the season that you're in. And if you don't take a break, it will not come to fruition, the vision that he's given to you.
Cynthia, we always say that. Like, okay, so Cynthia, if you were gone tomorrow, the children's ministry isn't going to stop. You know, they're going to find somebody else. This is why it's so important to take care of our health. I love that. You know, we were just in Dallas together for, you know, and I was there for the Effective Living 5K, and it was all about how important it is to take care of you. And I think that we struggle with that in children's ministry. A lot of us, we even struggle spiritually because we are never in church. You know, we're always, you know, back constantly focused on the children's ministry, and we're not making sure that as we are pouring out constantly, we're not making sure that we're poured into. I want you, if you are watching this today or later, whenever, I want you to be poured into next week. I want you to register for this conference. It is going to be amazing. Think of it as a retreat to where you are taking a break and you are being poured into as you are worshiping God, as we are doing, even adding worship this time. Worship him and just experience. I am praying that people, Cynthia, I'm telling you, that they will experience times of refreshing in God's presence and just sit back. The best part of it, you can do it from the comfort of your own couch. Your own couch. So we want you to be there. It is going to be an amazing time. But Cynthia, give us some more advice. I want some more advice.
Other than take a break?
Yeah. What? Is that the only thing we must do?
No. I'm just joking. Delegate, but be confident in your delegation with your people. In other words, don't delegate and say, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. And then come back and then stand over them to, you know, like you micromanage them. Yeah. Be confident in what they do. I tell my team, come up with a plan, make a decision. If it's right, wrong, or indifferent, we can fix it. But I trust the God in you and the ministry in you that God has given you to create the plan. I step back. I don't hover over them. I micromanage in the beginning any new staff, any new volunteer. But I macromanage after I see you fly. Because again, I believe if God wouldn't have you here and we need to utilize the giftings that you have, then I trust what's placed in you. So as leaders, don't come back and second guess. And yes, you can help them fine tune whatever you need to. But oftentimes I see leaders beat up their staff and volunteers because they say it's not the way I would want it. I would have done it. Yeah. And they walk away because who wants to be a part of a ministry where when you're not trusted? Exactly. I mean, you're not getting paid for it. Exactly. Well, I'm doing this out of the love of my heart, and I'm being micromanaged and not trusted. Why? Maybe I should just serve in another ministry. I love that you talked about that, Cynthia, because I think it's so important that we trust our people. We have got to trust them. You know, we have got to trust the people that God has sent to us to be a blessing to the ministry. We can't do this by ourselves, and it's not even all about what we think and what we want. Sometimes God sends fresh thinking to us, to other individuals to help us to move the children's ministry forward. And that is exactly what we are doing next week. If you have not registered for this conference, what are you doing? Cynthia, get angry with them. What are they doing? They need to register for this conference. They need to register now, ASAP. Because again, what else do you have to do? No, just no, but you're gonna get such great knowledge. Esther is excellent. She's wonderful. She's bringing some great people together on this platform. I mean, you're gonna get technology. You're gonna get volunteer instruction. You're gonna get how to talk to leadership. You're gonna get all of this for what? $25? There's major conferences that you have to spend $250 to $300, and you're getting this for $25. Oh my. And I think we need to commend Esther. Esther, we say thank you to you for even bringing this. Because when I first started ministry, It was hard. It was really hard because who do you talk to? Where
Yeah.
do you get your information from? Technology wasn't the same. I'm still not telling my age. Technology was not the same. And so
Yeah.
how do I get, if I wanted to go to conference, I had to fly somewhere, and then fly in, and then the expense of that, and try to get, ministry approval. And that was, but for $25, oh my goodness, I
Yeah.
would have loved to have this for my team and staff, for people. And again, if they don't happen to be there the whole day,
Yeah.
be there enough where you can get what you can get.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a requirement that you on there the whole time, but you might see the part where I get on and technology. I want to know more about technology and how, and then I get on that, and I still have my Saturday to do what I need to do, or the lineup that Esther has, put before you. I may have something on there about volunteers. I just need to hear more about volunteers. So it's not one of those things where you are required to be on there, but it's enough nuggets that you can get what you need throughout the day.
Well, Cynthia, I think that when they get on, they will be so addicted to the speakers that they're gonna just stay the entire day. Because I mean, this is the caliber of people that we have coming on who have prepared something absolutely amazing for you. Cynthia, I'm so excited. So during the season of uncertainty and change, I who wrote a book. Who knew?
Who knew? The progressive what?
The progressive children's ministry leader. And I was so excited about it, and I so believe in us. And when it comes to being progressive, and it was crazy because it was this crazy season of political mudslinging and everything. And Guy, my husband, and he was freaking out like, oh no, it's going to be called the Progressive Children's Ministry Leader. People are going to freak out when they see the word progressive. I'm like, progressive means being innovative, refined, moving forward. That is my passion for children's ministry leaders, that we would do that, and that we would do that with a spirit of excellence, which is why I made that the theme of this conference. So if you do not have a copy of the Progressive Children's Ministry Leader, I am telling you, go to the website, get your copy today so that you are ready and equipped and prepared for all this value that is going to be added to you next week. Cynthia, are you excited?
I'm so excited. See, if I was with the kids and I would grab the mic and I said, "Are you excited?" And they'd be kind of say, "Yeah, I'm kind of saying, no, I don't sound like you excited. Are you excited?" I go running in there. No, I said, I guess you guys are not excited because you're not. See, I had my pom-poms.
Where are your pom-poms? Get ready for this registration blitz.
I'm excited. I'm excited to listen to the other speakers myself because I'm going to be on all day. So though I'm going to hear my portion, I'm going to listen to everyone else.
With your team, we need your team on Cynthia Dixon.
I'm about to make some phone calls and some emails and said, you better jump on and get on and register right now. So I'm going to have to do that right now with the website and tell them to go on.
Cynthia, oh my goodness.
For my team.
Cynthia is so amazing. Cynthia, thank you so much for hanging out with us at this registration blitz. Check this out, you guys. If you have not registered, what are you waiting for? You are not going to be sorry. It is going to be an incredible time in the Lord. We are doing this for the Lord. The Lord calls for us to go forth with the spirit of excellence and bringing the little ones to him. This is why training is so important. We are going to talk all about that. Listen, we are not done with this registration blitz. We have Pastor Noel is coming to us next, and he's going to talk all about creativity in children's ministry as we celebrate something amazing that is going to happen this same time next week. So we are super pumped. Cynthia, we will see you next time, and we're going to take a break, and we will see you guys in 10 minutes. All right. I am here. Pastor Noel. I'm going to unmute your mic.
Okay.
There you are.
Yes, we are here. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? That's the only
Muy bien.
Spanish I know.
Yeah,
Only
I'm
Spanish.
fine. I'm fine.
Guy, I'm gonna make Guy come in here and speak Spanish because he's so fluent and he keeps it a complete secret with the entire world. But Noel knows, Pastor Noel knows that my husband is fluent in Spanish.
Yeah, I know. Well,
my goodness. Pastor Noel, I'm so excited that you are here. If you are watching right now, you are being I'm telling you, you are witnessing an amazing man of God, a dynamic, creative minister who I just absolutely adore. And I'm so glad Pastor Noel is here. The last time that you were here and we did like a webinar. Do you remember that? And and the reception was like, it just completely dropped. But I told Noah, I said, you are going to come back and we are going to do something incredible together. And he is here today for the Registration Blitz. This is all about registering. If you have not registered for the Children's Ministry Moving Forward Conference, it is happening next week on Saturday. We are so excited. I'm telling you, it is going to be value overload. We have so many amazing topics that you are not going to want to miss. Cynthia Dixon was just here. She's doing structuring your children's ministry for growth, recruiting volunteers post-COVID-19. Joshua Denhart with Lead Volunteers is coming to help us with that. Children's ministry and technology. Todd Hicksonbaugh, my resident techie, is coming to equip you when it comes to technology and children's ministry, working with senior leadership. How important is that? Kevin Atkins is going to come and teach us about cultivating and really building the skills to be invited to the table and not just to be sitting there touching the child of our heart. I'm telling you, Pastor Noel, I got Tracy Atkins. I've never seen someone touch the heart. I'm telling you, children that test my patience. I have seen her do amazing things with children. I'm so excited. She's going to be here with us, connecting with kids and families throughout the week. Brittany Nelson, she's going to blow our minds. Diversity matters. It's not just about one culture. We have to care about diversity in children's ministry and reaching a little bit of everybody. And Guy Moreno, I think I know him. He's going to come and teach us about that and reaching kids outside of the four walls of the church. Catherine from Bayside, I'm telling you, she's going to come and talk to us after you, Pastor Noel. But I'm so excited that you are here at our Registration Blitz. I love it. I love it. I love it. Pastor Noel, you are so creative. Tell us a little bit about you really quick.
Well, first of all, thank you very much. I am very appreciate your give me this opportunity. Well, it's the third time. Actually, it's the second, but this is the third time.
Keep seeing Noel on my stuff. I mean, we're friends.
No,
but he's so humble, so he continues to thank me for the opportunity every time I see him.
No. For me, it's a great opportunity. You know, you're amazing woman. You're amazing inspiration woman to work with the children ministry. Really, really, it's a blessing for me, for my family too. So. My name is Noel. I'm from Mexico. We are living maybe 28 years in California, and right now we live in Louisiana for almost 6 years now. Well, 5 years, and we start to the 6 years. So we are here in New Orleans, too close to Alabama.
I know.
And I'm a pastor. 33 years full-time pastor.
Once again, another guru in children's ministry.
And right now we are children pastor, in Hispanic children pastor. And believe me, this is so weird because the Hispanic church, they don't, I don't know. I don't think it's not believe in children pastor, no, but they don't think this is important
Yeah.
in the ministry.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many Hispanic pastors, children pastors around here in USA, but in Mexico, too, in Latin America, but now I am a one of them.
Oh my goodness, I love it. And Noah, I love how passionate you are about reaching the next generation. All you have to do is witness Pastor Noel like in action. And Guy and I have the opportunity to do that. Our dear friends, Sean and Stephanie. Sean does a lot of the media for me. I am a subtotal of amazing people who are around me. Sean is one of them. And he came and we were so floored with how creative and how engaged. I mean, we teach leaders to do everything that they can when they're teaching children to keep them on the edge of their seats. And I literally saw Pastor Noel did. I think I was literally one of the kids who's like on the edge, like, this is so good. I love it. It was amazing. But tell us, we are here at this registration blitz because we just want to inspire and encourage people to register for next week's conference. And because we want to grow, it's about equipping and growing. How important is creativity in children's ministry? Is super important. So I know that you are big time creative. So just really quickly, I mean, tell us, and when it comes to creativity, because you have to really be like on your P's and Q's. I mean, when it comes to being creative, you always have to be on cutting edge on what's going on. How do you reach kids? Where does someone as creative as you get your inspiration?
No, well, thank you very much. You know what? Actually, well, first of all, the inspiration is coming from our Lord, the God. Some people, they tell me, you know what? You're so great, like you. But I don't born with this. Well, I don't believe that. I learned at the time. Everybody, I love to learn, read books, watch videos, try to be every day to the I don't know, more close to the be different.
Yeah.
About the be more creative to share the gospel. Well, actually, I am full-time pastor, but I am a magician, Christian magician too.
I'm saying, can you tell everyone how amazing of a magician you are?
Well, look at my little. So, and this year, these days, I learn more, especially in this pandemic time. I think this is a great window to learn more about the creativity because normally we are like in a box, and with this pandemic coming, they open. We need a try to do something different, something I don't know, it's more attractive for the kid. For me, the big point for the kids to be creative is because the kids, they need to be excited about what you have at the front of them.
Yeah.
If you don't have something special, something crazy, something dynamic, they is born. Like I don't care. But when they have they see a rope, a balloon, a puppet, or something like that, they say, okay, I'm listening. And his ears.
It's fun. I mean, I think that you are so fun, and that was the thing to I think in children's ministry, something that I've noticed. Sometimes we can take the fun out of children's ministry when we're telling people. We say, when it comes to children's ministry, it's not all about fun. We have to focus on the gospel. And I'm like, why are we saying and? Why are we saying or? It's either or. It's the gospel or fun. What if we did both? What if we put fun and gospel together and stop giving excuses to be boring? The gospel is not boring. What Christ did on this earth, there's nothing boring about it. I'm a firm believer, Noel, that God is fun, and he is insulted when
you know what?
people separate him.
Yeah, you know what? We believe in this. The kids, the children, they for the teach something, you need to be involved to the some funny thing because
Yeah.
the fun is the way to the teach something for the kids. That is the especially the kindergarten and schools, the regular
Yeah.
school for little one. They have a color, a lot colors. They have a cube. They have a shape, something for teach the little kids about the shapes, about the letters, about the colors. And in the church, we have just a regular room, no colors, no toys, no nothing, and say, okay, the kid they don't listen to me. Why?
Well,
Because
I wonder why. Because maybe this space is lame. Let me tell you, I have been in some spaces, and I've seen, I've just been under certain, people, and I'm quiet, and I struggle. I'm like, the kids are struggling. Can I go on the bathroom break with the kids? I mean, it is so important that we are incorporating fun in children's ministry. And I completely agree with you. If we, as a church, even use the education system as an example, teachers are finding fun things to do and fun ways because they learn that it has enhanced the learning for the kids. They pay more attention, to the actual lesson when they're doing it in a way that's fun. So, listen, if you are listening and watching this today or later, I am with the amazing Pastor Noel because it is the registration blitz. And if you are not registered for next week's conference, we want you to be there. I might even have to have Pastor Noel stop by and hang out with us and give us a quick word. Listen, we are going to add so much value. We are ready. Are you? Don't miss it. Hang out with us. Register today at the bottom of the screen. The website is scrolling on how you can register. The conference is $25, which is next to nothing for the value that is going to be added to you. So register, register, register. I'm going to say that until I'm blue in the face, and then I'm going to breathe again, get the oxygen back, and say it again, because this is how much I believe that this conference is going to bless you. So make sure that you are there. Pastor Noel,
yes,
I absolutely love witnessing how you kind of share that those creative juices with all of those junior leaders. I will say, I have never witnessed a ministry that had so many. And this is what I'm saying. I've seen junior leaders before, but I'm saying like committed, like they really felt this calling to this craft, this creative. I remember it was a puppet show that you guys did. It was like the best puppet show
yeah,
that I had ever seen. I mean, literally, I was like, is this a joke? This is amazing. We need to come to the Hispanic church and learn from you on how.
no.
I mean, it was incredible.
Well, let me add something about the first question. One of the things for my creativity is coming is no person like you, person like a Ryan, person
Yeah.
like a Sebastian, person like a well, I have a lot of friends now. When and this year, they so amazing person, creativity person in the different ways. So this conference, everyone, you see this conference is a great opportunity to grow in creativity.
Yeah.
Believe me, you have a lot good one teachers for that. I hope this kind of seminars or this kind of workshops is available in Spanish. But we can work in that.
Oh, somebody has already requested Guy to translate. I'm like, you want him to sit here and translate the entire thing in Spanish? The request has already come in. But tell us, Pastor Noel, tell us, because you've always just astonished me with just how you work with other leaders. How can we inspire volunteers to be more creative in their teaching styles when it comes to reaching children?
I don't know you in the area, in the English area, but the people, American people, but in Hispanic people, they don't want to involve with the kids. I don't know why. And say, oh, you know what? I have my kids, and I am like this here. I don't want more kids in the church.
Here.
I know. So the only available person they more let me see available for this is the youth, the teenagers.
Yeah.
And in our case, we find this, we learn this. First of all, is try to be one by one. Try to touch the heart. I don't know how I say. We try to have a good relationship with the kids.
Yeah.
And when they know us, it's available to try and be available in different areas. We need to help me, like be careful with the kids and the enter to the church, or in the middle the lesson, please give the red, or I say leave the kids in the area for the parents. Well, or I'll give a lesson.
Yeah.
But what the other is, because the other part for the teacher is when you give the information. This is a way to give a good lesson. This is a way to use a good object lesson, something like that. But the other is the example. You know what? Please try to be a good example for the kids. And then they come to be part of your team. In our case, we have a little helper like 12 years old, 13 years old, and for 5 years. So now 13, 14, 14, 5, 17 years right now. So they know me, they know my wife, they know the team, they know, they have information about how we can care.
So you built a relationship.
For me, that is the big point. One is the information, and the other is build that kind of relationship with them.
So that's the first step. So you're saying that's the first step to,
yes.
If you want to teach them how to be creative in their teaching style, the first step is build a relationship with the kids. Noel, I have to tell you. So I think this was 2 weeks ago. It wasn't last week. 2 weeks ago, in our midweek programming. That I'm so big on that. Build a relationship with the kids. I mean, if you have a relationship and they trust you, it is easy sailing from there if you build that trust. And I can remember there's a little boy I've been working on, when it comes to trust. And I'm so big. I will come up to you if I know that you're new. I will sneak up to the front and say, I'm so glad you're here today. I can't believe you came back. This is so amazing. Well, this little boy comes up to me. Because I go and I sit right next to him. And I'm like, I'm so happy to be here today. And I get to sit next to you. Oh my goodness, how are you? So he comes up to me and he gives me like this incredible hug. And I'm just like, oh my heart, I have won him over. And this is crazy. And he grabs my face and he sees something. Little boy, he sees something in my eyes. And he takes me and he boinks me in my eyeball. And I'm like this. But I remember, it was so funny to me. I was like, you gotta love children's ministry. But I remember that I was like, it was totally worth it. I would be boinked in the eyeballs anytime if it means to get a hug like that and to get that connection with those kids. I think that is so important. If you are watching today, listen, we are getting ready. It is the Registration Blitz this time next week. If you have not registered for this conference, make sure that you register. Go to the site. We are having the Children's Ministry Moving Forward virtual conference that is going down. You are not going to want to miss it. Listen, if you go to it and you are disappointed, you can send me an email and I'm going to email you back and say, what's your problem? Because that was amazing. But it is going to be so good. And that is why we are here. We have Pastor Noel with us and we are talking about creativity in children's ministry. Pastor Noel, tell me, how have you had to creatively shift? Because this season, it has forced all of us, a lot of us, to shift the way that we do ministry. How have you creatively done that in your methods in reaching children during this season?
Well, I think it's it's more intensive because right now, I don't know, it's we need to think knowing your local church. I think you need to think more outside the church,
Yeah.
your neighborhood and the other city, maybe the other state, and now like this, another culture, another language.
Yeah.
So we don't know why God used your ministry to encourage another, like in me with you. So it's more intensive right now, and another is more intentionality. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's good.
Yeah.
Well, because we need to do right now, no tomorrow, no 2 days more later. It's right now. We need to share the gospel. The more,
Yeah.
because I don't know, it's a more with more quality,
Yeah.
more quality
With
for the
excellence.
kids.
Yeah.
I think that so they change for better. They change for actually. So I have more work right now than last year
Yeah.
before the pandemic. Right now, it's whole week. I have a lot thing. May record videos for Peru, for Argentina, for Mexico. So I have more opportunity to share the gospel before the pandemic is coming.
So I
So
mean, it is really, it's forced you to really kind of hunker down, right, on the way that you do ministry and to really go forth and just do it with the spirit of excellence. I said that, and I was speaking earlier today, and I just said, hey, if people have gone virtual, churches have not stopped. They did not stop reaching children and families. They just went virtual, and that means we have to go virtual too and do everything that we can to with a spirit of excellence. Which means for a lot of us, we had to learn how to do things well. A lot of us didn't know how to do digital technology well. So those are things that we had to learn, and that is what
yeah,
this conference is all about. It is about doing children's ministry well. If you are out there, if you have a children's ministry, I'm telling you, you do not want to miss next Saturday at the Children's Ministry Moving Forward virtual conference. It is going to be an amazing time of equipping, all from the comfort of your own home. If you want to get up, get a snack, have coffee, if you want to do it in your pajamas, we ain't even gonna notice. We want you to be relaxed and to just experience times of refreshing in God's presence as you prepare to move your children's ministry forward. We are ready. Speakers are ready. Are you? Have you registered? Make sure that you register for that. It is going to be an amazing time. But Pastor Noel, speaking of technology, because that has been like a huge shift that a lot of us had to do, whether we knew how to do it well or didn't know how to do it well. Okay, what role do you think digital technology plays in children's ministry?
right now we need to invest a lot of more time, more money, and more everything. I
Mm-hmm.
think this is a best way right now. And when I say it's not for local church too, it's for more and use social media, especially YouTube, Facebook. Try to give the message in good quality. So that's it because we need to learn more about the technology. If you don't know how it's used, the Instagram is a
Yeah.
great tool. And you know what? One of the social media or social media is the TikTok. I know TikTok is for funny, is for I don't know something relaxed, but you can use the TikTok for the kids because they are in the TikTok. So maybe you need a I'm trying to learn how it's better for give a message in 1 minute,
Yeah.
30 seconds. So I think for well, I don't know, but for pastor, give a message for 1 minute. Oh,
Uh-huh.
believe me, it's hard.
No,
So,
well, let me tell you something. I did this. I'm going to tell you. So I told Guy that when I had children, like I developed the skill of taking a 1 minute shower because I had this new responsibility. I had this little human that I had to take care of. So I love that whole thing of give yourself 1 minute to give a sermon. How does it sound? Just because you're right. When our kids have they have a low attention span. If we get so obsessed with our message and what we want to give out, and we are teaching a message for an hour, they're gonna check out. We need to know how to maximize technology. We need to know how to do it quickly, in a way that keeps them engaged. We have so much competition out there. The kids are watching Disney. They're watching Nickelodeon. I love how you talked about how we really have to come forth with a spirit of excellence in what we're doing and what we're putting out digitally, from our sound, from our camera. I think the word is invest. I think that, we get too lax and comfortable and just kind of, when it comes to the kids, okay, well, let's figure out what we can get for free. What can we do for free? But children's ministry is an investment, and our kids are worth it. That is one thing that I just won't kind of compromise on. Kids deserve to be invested in when it comes to bringing the little ones to him. And I believe, the battle is already won, but we need to do what we need to do to reach them and to reach them more effectively.
Yeah, one of the things I think it's we need to work more with the parents, with the dad and mom, because for me the big problem is dad and mom. They need to put his priority for the, okay, you know what, it's time to watch the lesson for the church. Okay, guys, put attention. This is the on time to that. But normally they give the cell phones or the tablets or whatever they for the kids, just for watch whatever you want. And no, I think for right now we need to learn that. We need like me, like that. So you guys, you have time to this, and now it's time to learn, time to see. Maybe we can. We don't have right now the opportunity to go to the church. So now, when you say, okay, you have this opportunity for the conference in your home with your coffee, with your pajamas, whatever you, and listen. I know. It's just so. Dad and mom, they know, oh, we need to learn more about this.
Yeah, this is a creative way. This is a creative way to grow in how you reach children, to grow in how you do leadership. If you guys are watching and you have not registered for the conference, I know what you're waiting for. I'm telling you, it is going to be amazing. You need to register. I am so excited. We had Pastor Noel with us talking about creativity in children's ministry. I'm not going to get lazy with my language because I speak English and I'm messing up my English. I love Noel because he is so funny. We've done so many things together and he cracks me up because he's like, oh, I'm nervous. What about my English? It's going to be good.
No, you know what? You're the big one person for me right now. That they encourage me to talk in English. So I am sweating right now. so
for me, I'm like, I don't care. You are a dynamic leader. I've witnessed it. I have literally witnessed Pastor Noel and the way that he does ministry. I have learned and I have grown. And I'm like, listen, you have to come on because the Spirit of God will come down and will make everything clear.
Thank you. Wow.
And Noel, thank you so much for hanging out with us at the Registration Blitz.
If you know English and you're Hispanic people and you know English, believe me, let me say en español. Si tú estás viendo esto y hablas español, regístrate. Hablas inglés, regístrate. Vale la pena. Esther Moreno y todo el elenco del staff muy bueno. Okay. Please register.
There you have it in Spanish. And I'm pretty sure he just said I was amazing. But you guys, we are so excited. Make sure you're sharing this information. Make sure that you are registering for this conference. We are going to be back in 10 minutes with another amazing guest. Catherine is absolutely amazing. She is gorgeous. She is going to blow your socks off, and she is going to conclude our time here today. So make sure you come back. We got a couple minutes and we will be back right after this. But Noel is about to say something.
Somebody's here. They want to say hi. Hola. Let's say presto. Hey, say hey presto. I know. He's so excited about you. Yeah, I know. Watch. Yeah. Like that. Presto.
I'm so happy to see you, Presto. Creativity, you guys. I'm telling you, it's all over Pastor Noel. So you guys, if you need to get up, stretch, we are almost out of here. 10-minute break. We will see you after this.
See you. Bye. God bless you. Good.
Okay. I am with this lovely lady this evening. I'm so excited to be with you. Are you not at the skating rink?
No, I got home because it's Central Time and Pacific Time, so I'm like trying to figure it out, you guys. The COVID setback is real. No.
Oh my goodness. No, I reached out to Catherine. Catherine is going to be one of our amazing speakers. If you are watching today, this is a registration blitz, and I am so excited because this time next week, something amazing is going to hit the virtual world. We are having the Children's Ministry Moving Forward virtual conference. So if you are interested in moving your children's ministry forward, you need to be here. Catherine is going to be with us. Catherine, tell us. I'm like, Catherine's a perfect person to close this thing out.
Right.
I don't know if I found Catherine or Catherine found me, but I love her so much, and we're both minorities.
Yes.
Yes, she's just absolutely incredible. Tell us just a little bit real quick about yourself, and people are tuning in and they're like, who is this beautiful woman?
Oh my. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. Yeah, my name is Catherine. I was born in South Korea, moved here when I was 9. And God has just changed me around. You know, I volunteered since I was basically 9 years old and I couldn't even speak English. I volunteered in the children's ministry, and it's that one thing that I haven't stopped ever doing since. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you're telling me, because I have a 9-year-old, that I can put her to work right now?
Literally, they're the best at stapling. They're the best at decorating. And also telling me how terrible I do my job. Yep.
Hey, they tell you the truth. Kids do. If you want really to know the truth about who you are, what you look like, kids will not lie to you. They will tell you the truth. Hey, check this out. Catherine is with us today, and we are talking about the importance of training, because next week we are going to have an incredible training available to you at the Children's Ministry Moving Forward virtual conference. So we're here at the Registration Blitz because we believe in this and we want you to register. Catherine is going to be there, and she's going to talk to us about reaching kids outside of the 4 walls of the church. How often do we wait for the kids to show up and to come with the grown-ups instead of thinking about those kids who are outside of the church on Sundays or on Saturday or during midweek programming? They all matter. And we want to reach as many children and families with the gospel of Jesus Christ, with the spirit of excellence. That is why we are here. So, Catherine, tell us, how important is training in children's ministry?
I think training is important in all areas, not just in children's ministry. Yeah. I mean, I think because I'm such growing up in America and immigrating, I realize how important learning is from the beginning. So training is very, very important to me, but especially in children's ministry, because we work with volunteers that have different kinds of training. Not everybody who's on your team was professionally trained to be in this department, right? Yeah. To me, I think that's even more important to train, because we work with so many phenomenal volunteers that even from young age, like age 9, have great potential if you train them well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I think it's a weakness that we have in children's ministry when it comes to training. I think we become so obsessed with actually getting a warm body in the slot. So now we're in this warm body in slot mentality, and now this is filled. And I'm just, thank you, Jesus, that this spot is filled, that we forget on the importance of training. And I think that's a huge issue when it comes to retaining. We can't stop at thank you for signing up for the children's ministry. We need to do what we need to do to make sure we are training people to be successful. And, Catherine, I'm telling you, that is, to me, it's wherever you are. If you are in the preschool and you're working with preschoolers, have you trained your children's ministry workers who work with preschoolers to be successful at doing that? I mean, I think that one of the greatest tragedies, Catherine, in children's ministry is when someone gets up and they walk away from something that they were gifted in, that God had called them to be in, but because they weren't trained effectively to be in that role, they got overwhelmed. the enemy got in their face. You just really suck in this position and you just need to quit. And then you hear the excuse, right? I'm feeling called to another ministry right now. Because you're completely intimidated. I mean, it's happened to me, you know, and I've been guilty. I've been that leader guilty of getting so caught up that I'm like, man, have we trained our leaders on, you know, and not just on where the fire exits are. You know, these are the fire exits here. If there's a fire, please remove yourself and the children. But really, how do we make God's word come alive for kids? If you're working with rambunctious 4th and 5th grade boys, how do I keep them engaged and be successful? And that's what this conference is all about. It is all about equipping and the training. And I am so pumped, Catherine, that you are a part of this.
Oh, it's such a huge privilege. I mean, you and I, we know so many people who are called to children's ministry and leading that. And it is such a need right now, especially after the pandemic and kids going through so much trauma of just their entire world changing. And even more so, like, our role is so important. Imagine what it would be like if we all felt very confident in that calling. Whether you're volunteering or hired or wherever you're at in that big giant circle of things.
I think we would lose a lot less volunteers if we equip them with the confidence to be successful. You know, I had a leader recently that they had a post on, they wanted advice on dealing with children, you know, who are grief stricken and they were going through that process of grief, and, you know, how can we help them? And I tried to think of books and resources to give them, to help them really to train themselves on effective ways to try to reach that child. But Catherine, you know, when it comes to books, you know, how has that played a role, books and resources, in the absolutely incredible leader that you are today? Or were you literally born a genius and you had it all together, beauty, brains, everything, and you just worked it out?
Yes. Definitely not the latter. My mom will testify and like tell you. But yes, you know, I think when I didn't have my own kids and I was in college and I loved like learning, and I still love learning, I had a little bit more time. So definitely books and stuff like that was very helpful when I had kids. And then when I had multiple kids, like there's no way this brain of mine could sit down for even 2 minutes.
It's called mommy brain. Like when you have kids, you get mommy brain and you just forget everything.
In the private space, I'm like, the bathroom's my space or the closet's my space. Like I find random notes in my house because my kids have been in those spaces. So there is absolutely no time where I get to just like think. And so definitely podcast conferences where you get a lot of information out, and then you can like re-listen to it, remember it, look through your notes. Like that's how I get it right now, honestly.
Yeah, that's how you get it. So I did this crazy thing during the pandemic, and I actually wrote another book called The Progressive Children's Ministry Leader. And I always try to write books. I wish these books existed when I first started children's ministry, you know, and our theme this year for the conference is the Progressive Children's Ministry Leader, because this conference is for those who want to have they want to have an innovative approach when it comes to reaching the next generation, when it comes to training leaders. And it's not just for children's ministry leaders, it's for children's ministry workers. We are in this together, and we are so excited to be here next week and next Saturday to equip you. But if you don't register, you're not going to be a part of it. So we are here at the Registration Blitz because we want you to register. If you know someone this will add so much value to them. I am telling you, you will not be sorry. Register for this. We are building up progressive children's ministry leaders who are equipped and ready to go out and reach tomorrow's generation. Super excited about that. So, I mean, we're talking about this conference, Catherine. How important, you know, is a conference like this? You know, because it's all types of conferences. How important is a conference like this, you know, in children's ministry when it comes to moving people's children's ministry forward and the way that they reach the next generation forward? How important is that?
yeah, it's very important for me. I think definitely for everyone else too. I love a conference that provide range of people together, especially in the season in the media where, you feel, I hear both extremes. I'm afraid to have these conversations with people. And then like even how to talk to kids about all the issues that's happening right now, including death, all these things.
Yeah.
You, Esther, a group of diverse people together with different church backgrounds, with different church sizes. You brought so many of these people together and you've given them a voice. So I love that. And that's why to me, this conference is so important. And I'm so, so thankful to be part of it.
I'm so excited. I think that's my favorite part. Of the conference and us coming together. That's honestly, Catherine, that's like my favorite part of every time I see the flyer. I'm like, yes, people who are different, who have come together, who
absolutely.
I think that was one of the big struggles, in this season with racial unrest and everything that was going on. We just kind of wanted to, hey, let's just sweep this under the rug and just focus on Jesus, because we weren't equipped to kind of reach other cultures. We weren't equipped even to be compassionate towards what someone else who may not look like us may be going through based off of situations, that are happening and that are affecting an entire culture. So I think that it is so important. And if we don't do life together with people who look different than us, with leaders who look different than us, then we're never going to grow. We're never going to learn. We're going to be trapped in this vacuum and things are going to be, the same ideas are going to be bouncing off of each other and we are never going to grow. This is why I'm so excited, Catherine, about this conference next week. It is going to blow your socks off. If you have not registered yet, you need to register today. We're going to have fun too. I always get my friends together. I mean, I don't invite anyone who I'm like, I just don't think you're going to be fun. But it's going to be good content.
Yes, and it's going to be real, just like literally right now behind me, my mom just brought my daughter in to take a shower. Like, it's going to be real as well. I'm like,
okay, so your mom is gorgeous. I saw her on social media and she is gorgeous. Please tell her happy belated birthday.
Mom, Esther says happy belated. Oh my gosh. I was like, you guys, I'm going on recording. Don't come in this room. And literally they just walk in.
They say, like, people say, black don't crack. I mean, come on. They just say it. I'm like, is there a similar saying for Asians? Because your mom looks like, I'm like, is that her sister? How is she a mother?
I don't know. That was my whole life. Even in high school, they always called her my sister. But it's so crazy. I think it is true in Asian genes as well. But I don't know. It might be the food that we were growing up eating. It's a lot of vegetables and soup. So
if you want a good diet, this conference, I'm telling you, you have to come. Catherine will give you your health plan. We will add that as a bonus, but you have to register now.
Yes, I will give you the seaweed soup ingredients in the conference. Come on.
Special on how to, we just have fun. This is the type of fun that we are going to have next week at this conference. Yes. It is going to be an amazing time. But before we get out of here, Catherine, give us a little advice, okay? What advice would you give to leaders that don't already have an established culture of training? Because you have to kind of build that into the culture. Because I try to encourage leaders to train, their workers. Don't just throw them in there. But it is hard if you are in a context where that has never happened and you go into a ministry, you really have to kind of shift the culture, and that takes time. So give us advice on that for those leaders.
Well, first of all, please stay encouraged because the training never ends. I've been at my job for 4 years, and basically in this pandemic, my entire team kind of changed. And I realized recently that I have to rebuild a whole training culture as well. So it's never ending. Please stay encouraged. If you haven't done it, get started, get on this conference, get with people that know and have done it before, and stay encouraged, be reminded of it. Sometimes it's just a reminder that we need training. and that we constantly need it and we need to give it as well. So that would be my first advice, is stay encouraged. And then bite sizes. Don't feel like you have to do this giant course. That's why conferences are so awesome, because you get little sizes of each little topics, and then you can expand on that throughout the year.
Yeah. So, and I mean, even with that, don't quit. If you see and you're like, don't use excuses. The enemy wants you to make an excuse. Well, this person didn't come, or this, you find creative ways to get training. And this is a creative way. Invite your team to be a part of this conference next week. If you are looking for a creative way to train, let me tell you, I got some good news for you. We got some amazing trainers, including Catherine, and they are all going to be here next week to pump you up. Catherine, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you so much for hanging out with us all day. If you have been here, make sure you share. We want to reach as many people as possible. That's why we're doing this registration blitz, because we want to glorify God and we want to get the message out. We want to make sure that no one is left out. We are so excited. We are so pumped for next week. Right now, scrolling on the bottom of the screen is the link to register. Go to the website and register. Call a friend and say, hey, girl. I don't think they say, hey, boy. But you said, did you, hey, man, have you registered for the Children's Ministry Moving Forward virtual conference? Get together. It's going to be a great time. We are so excited. Make sure you register. We'll put the link in there, and we will see you guys next week.
Yes. See you soon, everybody.
Can't wait. See you guys.
Bye.